This is in the all-new, all-different Marvel. Bruce Banner isn't the Hulk, and there's a new, totally awesome Hulk. This takes place right after Secret Wars ends. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Things begin with a tidal wave coming crashing down on a beach as we see the spikes of some monster popping up from the waves. The beachgoers all begin to panic and run for safety, but over the radio we hear a voice. Amadeus, it's time. Amadeus runs to the beach after eating a bunch of burgers, and the change begins. His feet begin to grow green. He gets larger, and then with a step we see the ground shake. The Hulk has arrived, and he just smacked this monster, saving a woman and her child, knocking out the giant turtle. Everyone on the beach is stunned, and the Hulk turns to them. That was totally awesome, right? So cool, just doing my job, folks. He then fist bumps the baby while he tries to hit on the woman he saved. A floating robot comes over near his head to inform him the monster isn't exactly knocked out. The monster grabs the Hulk by his foot and begins to slam him back on the ground, back and forth, over and over, and then begins to suck in some air, pulling the child towards it, so the Hulk begins to pluck the kid out of the sky, and he lobs him back to his mother before jumping in the path of the creature's fire breath. The robot then continues, Amadeus, you have to start listening. Why do you have to distract me as I'm saving civilians? The monster begins to suck in more air, and the Hulk begins to grab a propane tank, and he throws it into the monster's mouth. A surprised look comes over the turtle's eyes, and it begins spewing fire everywhere, uncontrollably, before it hits the ground. The Hulk then uses a device on his wrist to shrink down the creature and hold up the tiny turtle. He then turns to the woman again, but since he apparently lost his pants in the fight, he decides he should probably just jump away, and then he shrinks back down into Amadeus. He walks into his food truck that is being used for cover, and he hands the mini turtle back to his sister before putting on some new pants and eating a lot of food. Matty Cho explains that Amadeus can't lose control. That's what happened to Banner. Amadeus begins to grow mad, and he gets green, and he informs Matty that he is not Banner! So where is Banner? It was 4 months ago when a building off the shore of Kenya was going up in flames. The smartest men in the world couldn't come up with an answer. It was an experimental fusion reactor, and Banner was useless, but the Hulk wasn't. He jumped up offshore towards the reactor, and using his powers, he absorbed the energy that it was putting off, and he took it all inside. But it wasn't gamma radiation. It was something different, and with that, he collapsed. Stark and T'Challa contained him in some kind of device that began to reabsorb the radiation, keeping it contained. But it was too much, and the device began to crack, and the ocean began to boil. They tried to talk the Hulk down, but it wasn't working, and he was losing control of it. As things grew worse and worse, Amadeus Cho teleported into the lab to tell Stark and T'Challa that he has the answer. He starts throwing out answers that they've already tried, which irritates the both of them. Then the lab assistant tranquilizes Amadeus, knocking him out as they decide what their only plan is to teleport the Hulk into the negative zone and let him expel the energy somewhere else, somewhere that he can't come back from. Things begin to reach a breaking point, and just when they can't stop him from exploding and taking out the seaboard with no other options, they begin to say their goodbyes to the Hulk, to Banner, their friend. And that's when they notice Amadeus Cho has woken up and taken a power suit. All of the stuff before was the distraction so that he could try his real plan by faking being knocked out. He walks over to the Hulk and he takes his hands. You never wanted this, so maybe it's time to give it to someone who does. A surge of energy comes out of Amadeus, and a containment suit forms around the Hulk. As the energy surges between the two of them, the Hulk begins to change slowly and eventually back into Banner. And Banner is crying. What have you done? Dude, it's okay. You don't have to worry any longer. You're free, Bruce, so don't cry. Ah, kid, I'm not crying for me. At that moment, Amadeus begins to feel the gamma radiation, and the anger, and the change taking hold. He is the new Hulk. Amadeus remembers this came out of Banner losing control, and he doesn't want to let that happen to him. 2 days later, another monster is attacking New Zealand. The monster shouts, Nasher Nash! And the Hulk leaps in, and Hulk smash! She-Hulk was already there, and she turns to him. Really? Then they both punch the monsters, knocking them out, and Spider-Man walks over, hitting them. And stay down! Spider-Man and She-Hulk look at the new Hulk. So you're the new guy? Yeah, what you think? She-Hulk steps up. I hear you've been running around like a crazy person, not checking in with the Avengers or S.H.I.E.L.D. or anyone. So not much. He leans over to Maddie's robot. She sounds like she's 40. And then the Hulk is hit by a mace and a woman calling herself Lady Hellbender. The Hulk gets back up and he informs Lady Hellbender that since she is a lady, he will not hit her. And then her pet bites down on the Hulk and lifts him off the ground, throwing him around. Maddie flies in in, drowning the pet in foam. But then Lady Hellbender jumps on the roof of Maddie's craft, tearing it apart. Spider-Man and She-Hulk whip onto the flying craft, moving towards Hellbender as the Hulk is getting madder and madder. Maddie is in trouble! He jumps onto the craft, slamming Hellbender back down to the earth, and then seemingly losing control, he jumps back down ready to fight. He hits the ground hard, and Spider-Man kicks him in the back of the head. Hold up, man! The Hulk grabs Spider-Man by the head, but then Spidey points out that Maddie is fine. So the Hulk begins to calm down, and he shrinks back down to Amadeus. Hellbender understands now. The Hulk is a shapeshifter. She then explains that she's been hunting these creatures to bring them back to the sanctuary where they can roam free. Maddie starts telling Amadeus to Hulk back up, but he tells her that he lost control. He needs to calm down. But Maddie insists. Then the Lord of all monsters rises. Fing Fang Foom! Hellbender loads her ship up to battle, and the Hulk jumps on board, telling Maddie she's right, he took the job. She-Hulk calls up the Avengers. The new Hulk has gone rogue and joined up with an alien queen from Sheiknarf 9, except her phone won't work because Maddie blocked it. Sorry, but the Avengers don't have a good history with working with the Hulk. Hellbender gets out her weapon and she takes aim at Fing Fang Foom because she doesn't trust this new Hulk. The records indicate that the old Hulk was the strongest that there is, but this new Hulk hasn't proven anything. So Hulk asks what the ship is made out of and decides that he's going to show her just how strong this Hulk is. He jumps straight down into Fing Fang Foom's mouth, and then he grabs Fing Fang's tongue and he jumps out of his mouth, punching him in the head. He then sees a civilian ship in trouble, and wanting to help them, he gets distracted. So Fing Fang hits him hard. He falls underwater, and realizing that the ship is sinking near him, he decides to save it because he's the best Hulk that there is. He throws himself upwards towards the ship, pushing it out of the water and saving them. But while this is going on, Fing Fang has moved to the shore of Hawaii, where he is now terrorizing the civilians there. The Hulk jumps in, taking a swing at Foom, but Foom knocks him back easily. Thinking fast, the Hulk grabs a container of foam and shoves it into Fing Fang's mouth, foaming him all up. Then the Hulk hits him with everything he has, dropping the monster, followed by posing on the defeated beast. Hellbender walks over. So you were right, you are the world's strongest monster. And she fires a trank into the Hulk's back, knocking him out. She pulls the Hulk onto her ship, her greatest catch ever, and then Maddie flies the food truck over to the spaceship with everyone on board, and they watch using their robot, Hellbender kissing Hulk. Everyone cringes as they watch. Realizing that they are chasing her, Hellbender begins dropping her captured monsters onto the planet, telling Hulk that she has him now. She doesn't need the others. As the Hulk wakes up, he breaks out of the chains with ease, and then he pulls the trank pad off before jumping back down to Earth to begin fighting with all of the monsters that she dropped. Hellbender looks down at him falling. Well, where's the fun in that? Hulk, She-Hulk, and Spider-Man all begin fighting it out with the big monsters, but there's way too many of them. Too many for the Hulk to fight, until Amadeus finally lets go. He stops trying to hold back, and he unleashes the Hulk. In a single punch, he drops a monster, but he almost sinks the entire North Shore. She-Hulk dives in, telling him to calm down. If he wants to prove he's different, just do it, calm down. So the Hulk thinks about it, and he grabs a pole, and he tells Shulky to move. Shulky? And then the Hulk hits them all with an electrical pole, shocking all of the monsters. Hellbender then lands her ship, and the Hulk tells her that he isn't going with her. So she walks down to him, giving him another surprising kiss, and tells him to call her once he's willing to admit who he is. Spidey then turns to Hulk. You got her number, right? Spidey! I kid. But seriously, you got her number, right? She-Hulk takes all of the shrunken monsters back to base and leaves the new Hulk and his sister to do their job, while Spider-Man is serving kimchi ramen. Thus, the new Hulk is ready for his adventures. Make sure you check out issue 5 if you want to see where the new Hulk adventures go. Personally, I'm loving this new take on the Hulk. Don't worry, we're about to start telling you some of the older Bruce Banner stories in rapid succession on the weekends. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and if you want to chat about this video or any others, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian, on Instagram at Comicstorian, and if you want video game comic books, go check out our video game channel, Eligible Monster. I'll see you guys next time right here, or right now over there.